Okay, let's take a look at your personal home screen from a UI/UX perspective. It has a clean, minimalist aesthetic with a clear layout, which is a good starting point. Here's a brief review and some suggestions based on common UI/UX principles. UI, User Interface, Review and Suggestions. 1. Color Scheme and Contrast. Review. The dark background with lighter icons and text provides a calm feel. However, the contrast between the light blue, gray text and icons against the dark background might be a bit low for optimal readability, especially for users with visual impairments or in bright lighting conditions. Suggestion: consider slightly increasing the contrast of the text labels and icons. This could involve making the lighter color brighter or the darker background slightly less dark. Ensure text is easily readable at a glance. 2. Iconography consistency. Review. You have a mix of icon styles. Some are contained within a detailed circular border, MIH profile, MIH AI, while others are simple icons within a rounded square shape. Suggestion: aim for greater consistency in your icon style. Choose one style, e.g., all simple line icons within a consistent shape, or all more detailed illustrations, and apply it to all icons for a more polished and unified look. 3. Icon clarity and recognition. Review. Some icons are standard and easily recognizable. Wallet, calendar, calculator. Others, like the ones for MIH profile and MIH AI, the llama, are unique and likely tied to your specific application's branding. The patient profile icon, calendar with plus or minus, is also not a universally recognized symbol. Suggestion: while unique icons can help with branding, ensure that their meaning is immediately clear, especially in combination with the label. For less standard icons, users will need to learn what they represent. User testing could help determine if these icons are intuitive or cause confusion. 4. Layout and spacing. Review. The grid layout for the main functions is a standard and effective way to present options. The spacing between the icons seems adequate, preventing a cluttered feel. The prominent search bar is well placed for easy access. Suggestion: the layout is generally good. Ensure consistent padding around the edges and between elements as you build out the screens linked to these icons. 5. Header elements. Review. The header contains a profile picture, a generic user icon, a briefcase, bag icon, and the title, Personal Home. Suggestion: consider the purpose of the generic user and briefcase icons in the header. If MIH profile and MIH wallet provide access to user details and related functions, these header icons might be redundant or could have a slightly different function, e.g., quick access to account settings or a general inbox. Clarify their role or streamline if they duplicate functionality presented elsewhere. 6. Bottom icons. Review. There are two icons at the bottom, checkmark and eye in a circle, with labels that are cut off in the image. Suggestion: ensure all content, especially labels for interactive elements, is fully visible on the screen without being cut off. The checkmark could potentially indicate tasks or completed items, and the eye likely signifies information or about. Make sure their intended purpose is clear and the full label is displayed.
Okay, so that was just a recap of what Gemini was telling us yesterday. So it's the color schemes, the icons. We got some feedback from the people of Mzansi, and then the other things like number 6 over here, the bottom icons. I couldn't scroll in the screenshot, so we couldn't do that. The header elements, I understand what they were saying over here, so we'll look at that. And if we scroll up to the top, the layouts and spacing, so we'll also keep that in mind. But the key things for me was the icons firstly, and then the color scheme that we can work on in the UI department. So now this is the new stuff that we're going to get in today, is the user experience stuff. So we can hear what Gemini has to say. I'll pause after each step just so that we can review it ourselves and discuss what's happening over here. So I'll click it.
UX, User Experience, Review and Suggestions. 1. Information Architecture and Flow. Review. The home screen acts as a central dashboard, providing access to various parts of the application. The arrangement of icons suggests these are the primary functions the user would need to access. The presence of a search bar implies that finding specific MIH packages is a key user activity. Suggestion: consider the typical tasks a user would want to accomplish upon opening the app. Are the most frequently used functions the most prominent? Grouping related icons might also improve the logical flow, although with only 8 visible icons, a simple grid is likely sufficient. 2.
Okay, so that is the UX feedback, right? So we'll make a point of number 1. Let me flip my camera over for you. So we'll have a look at number 1. Yeah, so what number 1 was speaking about was the information flow architecture. So how I'm thinking of it now is your app is split up into different personas. We were talking about this in the last live. Different personas. So a persona is a type of person or a type of user using your application, right? So I think we've determined that our personas, the first one is a brand new user. The next one is a experienced user, so knows exactly what's happening in MIH, no fumbling, no nothing. Then we have a average user, right? Someone that maybe just uses one of the packages and doesn't use all the packages. They don't really explore the app. They just come there and do what they need to do and then leave, right? So those are the 3 personas. So now that we have the 3 personas, we have to look at the home screen and see, okay, for all 3 of these users, is the most important information or packages, MIH packages, right at the top of the application or not, right? So that a user is not scrolling around or searching and finding that, right? So I'll make a note of that. That would be info flow is packages easily visible on top, right? So we'll move on to the next one and hear what Gemini is saying. Let me flip this for you here on TikTok, and let me flip it over here, and then we'll play it again.
Usability of icons and labels. Review. As mentioned in the UI section, the clarity of some icons relies heavily on the accompanying label. If a user is quickly scanning, the less standard icons might require more cognitive effort to interpret. Suggestion: while labels are present, which is good, aim for icons that are as universally understood as possible for core functions. For unique features like Mzansi AI, a distinctive icon with a clear label is necessary. User testing can reveal if users hesitate or misunderstand the purpose of any icon.
Similar to I think it was point 4 if we scroll up to the top at point 4, point 5, point 3 over here. So the icon clarity and recognition, right? So if we open up MIH again, that what they're basically telling us is if someone opens up the app, will they know, like this one, would they know that it's a wallet without reading the text below it? Will they know this is the patient profile without reading the text below it? So I'll make a note of that. Easily recognizable icons. So again, as a part of adding the frame and stuff to our icons, we will have a look at to see what we can change and what icons can we put in place of the other icons, right? Let's continue to the next one. So that's under UI. So we just finished number 2. Let's look at number 3.
3. Efficiency of access. Review. A grid of direct access icons is generally efficient for users who are familiar with the application and know where to go. Suggestion: for new users, or for features that aren't used frequently, consider if there are alternative ways to access them that don't clutter the home screen. However, for a personal home screen with a limited number of core functions, this grid is likely efficient. 4.
Okay. So if we go back to this, what number 3 was telling us is what is this? The grid track access. So is it easily accessible for users? And for new users jumping into this, would they know that they'll have to click on one of these things? So a thought of mine, what I was thinking of to assist with that is, like when you open up some applications, they have that like a quick tutorial or quick guide of something of how the application works itself. So we could have something like that in the beginning to say, this is this button, these are your tools, this is the body, and all of those kind of things, right? So we could have something like that, but I am two minds about that because when I get one of those things, I just keep clicking skip on those tutorial kind of things, right? So will it be worth the effort of creating it just for people to skip it? Or is it worthwhile? Let me know in the chat. Mzadzi, let me know in the chat if you think that it's worthwhile or not. Let's move on to the next one.
Error prevention and feedback. Review. This is harder to assess from a static image, but a good user experience includes clear feedback when actions are performed, e.g., tapping an icon, completing a search, and guidance or error prevention when something goes wrong. Suggestion. As you develop the functionality behind these icons, think about the user's journey. What happens after they tap an icon? Is the transition smooth? Is it clear that their action was registered? If an action fails, is the error message clear and helpful? In summary, your personal home screen has a clean and organized visual style. The main areas for improvement from a UI/UX perspective are enhancing the visual consistency of the icons, ensuring sufficient color contrast for readability, and making sure all interactive elements and their labels are fully visible and their purpose is clear, especially for the less standard icons and the elements at the bottom of the screen. Thinking about the typical user flow and how easily users can accomplish their goals from this screen will also help refine the UX. Good work on creating a clear structure. Focusing on these details will help make the experience even more intuitive and pleasant for the user.
Okay, so that was an error prevention. So this basically, is there good enough error messages and things for the user? So if you click on something and there's missing information, does it tell you if there's missing information or not? Things like that, right? So I think this was quite useful, quite helpful. I did have a chat with someone to discuss further UX and UI designs that he'll start assisting me with going forward, but it's very early stages at the moment. So just a recap for some of the users that just joined now is we're continuing with our UI UX lessons, just understanding what could be improved. So we went over just briefly the UI stuff. After the UI stuff, we went over the UX stuff. And this was the new things over here. So the first one, information architecture or flow. So this one is about, are the packages, so if we open up MIH, are the packages that are available for us and the ones that are frequently used the most at the top, are they easily accessible? You don't have to scroll down to get to the Mzansi wallet, for example. So let me know which one of the packages are your favorite packages. Is it the Mzansi wallet? Is it the patient profile? Let me know which one it is. So the question is it easily accessible at the top, right? The next one is are the icons easily recognizable? That's something I think I've heard people say it's not easily recognizable. Like some of them it is, like the wallet is easy, calendar is easy, calculator and info, they're easily recognizable, but for access, for example, we just have a tick. I'm not sure exactly what to do. For the patient profile, I have a medical card, if that's what it looks like to me, right? Looks like a medical badge. So we'll have to change this to make it something more familiar to or recognizable to new users, right? Also at the top, we must try and maybe assist the users. I don't think changing the icons would work. We need to try and assist the users to make sure that they know that this is maybe the personal tool and this is the business tool, right? Without them having to click on it. So as soon as you open up the page, you have to know what these two sections are and you can click on them easily. So yes, and then also as you can see at the top of the screen, we are having a maintenance break on the 13th of sorry, not the 13th, Thursday, the 15th of January at 10 p.m. today, not today, this week. So we are going to migrate everything over to the new MIH server that we've been working on. So we took a little break, or we put out this announcement because we just want to make sure that if anything goes wrong while we're transferring over, everyone is aware that MIH is down for the moment and things will come back right. But I think things will move quickly because we've been testing it out. We've been understanding what's going on and things. So things are looking good. Things will be looking good with that. And another thing, if I open this up, let me clear this. Okay, I'll move this over for you. Let me increase the... So this is the new MIH server, right? And I think what I can do is... What I should be able to do is jump into the... There's it over here. No such directory found. Give me 1 second, let's run this and see what's good. Sorry, I'm in now. I was selecting the wrong container name. But as you can see, so we inside, let's clear this. Clear. Right. So now we inside the actual Mzansi server's new AI one, right? So if we say Olama list, you can see that we have the 4 billion parameter model. Again, today I was testing it out to see what exactly, or if Gemma 3 is the correct model. I was using DeepSeek's model. I was using a whole lot of other ones, and I don't like the thinking of it. Do you have any questions that we can ask her to test it out? Because I did test out, I think it was IBM's one. So if we go back here, I think I was testing out the IBM model, and that IBM model wasn't so clever. The one thing that I was using to test it out is what are the capitals of SA. So I specifically said SA and not South Africa, just so that it can make sure that it understands what I'm asking it. And then also most places, most countries have one capital. So that's why I put capitals over there, so that it can actually think and say, no, South Africa has multiple capitals. So it can give us the answer. So let's run this and see. Oh, sorry. My bad. Oh, llama run. And then we can copy this. Copy, paste. Now we're inside. I'll copy that message again. Paste. So you can see over here it interpreted SA as Southern Africa and not South Africa, right? Which is okay. It brings us all the different SADC countries, and you can see under South Africa it says Pretoria, Cape Town, and Bloemfontein, which is correct. Note, you see, this is an important note. Note they have 3 different capitals, right? Please, so I'll just reply to it so you can see that the AI does have, what's this thing? What's it called? It remembers the conversation, so I don't have to say no, specifically mention about South Africa. So I can say focus on South Africa. Focus on South Africa only. So if you see at the bottom, I'm saying focus on South Africa only. I'm not telling it focus on the capitals of South Africa. I'm just saying focus on South Africa only. And because it has context of what it's saying at the top over here, if I send this message, I love the speed, guys. Do you see how quickly this thing is moving? So if we scroll up to the top, focus, so here's it over here. Focus on South Africa only. Okay, let's zoom in on specifically. Let's zoom in specifically on South Africa. Jay, what was that natural language thing? Naturalreader.com. Thank you, thank you. So we will go to naturalreader.com and let's just use Jessica. How do I continue?
Do you want to have text read aloud?
Oh my word, what's going on? Get started, personal. Okay, there's it over here. So I'll copy its answer over here, and then I will drop it into the natural language processor. So I'll move the TikTok guys so they can see also. So here's the natural language processor that Jay, one of the members of Mzansi, told us about. So we'll delete that, paste that in. Let's play. Let's see if it's talking sense to us or not.
Okay, let's zoom in specifically on South Africa. Here's a detailed breakdown of South Africa's capitals. Detailed breakdown of South Africa's capitals. Pretoria. This is the administrative capital. It's the seat of the executive branch of government, where the president and cabinet operate. It's the most important center for government decision making. Cape Town. This is the legislative capital. The Parliament of South Africa is located here, where all new laws are debated and passed. It's also a major economic and cultural hub. Bloemfontein. This is the judicial capital. The Supreme Court of Appeal is based here, making it the center for the country's legal system. Key facts and why the three capitals. Historical reasons the system was established.
I don't know what happened.
During the apartheid era, the intention was to separate the government functions of the white minority from the black majority. Symbolism. The three capitals represent different aspects of South Africa's governance. Logistical complexity. Traveling between the capitals can be a significant undertaking for government officials. Do you want me to delve deeper into any of these aspects, such as the history of the three capitals, the economic significance of each city, the logistics of traveling between the capitals?
So what do you think, guys? Do you think what I was talking about is correct? Is it accurate? Is it speaking sense? Let me flip my camera so you can see me. We can look at each other while we chat about this. So is it talking sense, right? Is it... So we just asked about the capitals. If you have a comment or if you have a question that you'd like to ask the AI, let me know. It's just to test out the capabilities of the AI. If you have any questions, leave it in the chat for me. And let me flip this over here. So yeah, this is one of the things that I tested it out to see if it was talking nonsense or not, right? The AI, because the current Mzansi AI, I think it said there was 4 capitals in South Africa, and then it got the 3 correct, but then it added Johannesburg to the mix. So it wasn't too accurate. So I'm glad the accuracy has improved a little bit, but I need more questions. I need more things to ask it. And I'm not sure what to ask it. So let me know what kind of questions you have on your side. Natural Reader. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Jay. If I head over to... Let's see what the people on YouTube are saying. So, this is a question that I wanted to ask. Let me flip the camera for you. This is a question that I wanted to ask it, that I asked one of the other models. And it was quite interesting to hear its response. So I'll flip over. So the question that I asked it previously, or another model previously, is like, what's the most recent, or how old, I don't know how to phrase this. How old is your data? Okay, what's the most recent date? What's the most recently dated training data used? I don't think that's correct, but we'll see what it said. Okay, here's it over here. Let's copy it and put it over by natural reader and see what it's saying. Control A, paste.
Okay, let's get into the specifics of my training data. As of today, October 26, 2023, the most recently dated training data I was built upon is September 2021. Here's a breakdown of what that means. The base model, I'm built on a large language model created by Google. This base model was last updated in September 2021. Ongoing refinement since September 2021, my knowledge has been continuously refined through further training and updates. However, my core knowledge cutoff remains September 2021. Important considerations. I don't have a real-time knowledge feed. I'm not browsing the internet constantly. My knowledge comes from the data I was trained on. Events after September 2021, I won't have direct information about events that occurred after September 2021. While I can often extrapolate, my responses will be based on what I learned before that date. Do you want me to try to answer a question that might be outside of my knowledge cutoff and see how I handle it? Or would you like me to focus on something else?
That's interesting. I don't know why, but I feel like most of the LLMs, because I tried out that IBM one, their cutoff data was also over here. When was our elections? Our elections was May last year, right? So, if we ask it something about May last year, let's see if it gets the answers correctly, right? Please give me the results of the 2024 South African elections, right? Let's see what it says. So it did give us a few things. We can copy this. We can copy this and then paste it in here into the natural reader. So let's see what it's saying.
Okay, let's address the 2024 South African elections. However, it's crucial to be very clear. The 2024 South African elections have not yet taken place. The election date was scheduled for May 29, 2024, but it has been postponed to November 1st, 2024, due to logistical issues related to the issuing of ID ballots. Therefore, as of today, October 26, 2024, I do not have the results of the 2024 South African elections. However, I can provide you with information about that, forecasts and expectations based on polling data and expert analysis. Here's a summary of what's been reported. Polls indicate a tight race. Most polls predict a very close contest between the African National Congress.
So it's definitely giving us the wrong information over here. A lot of hallucination with real-time, more up-to-date, accurate things. But I think on the more creative things, it works a little bit better. So we can say, write a poem. Write a poem. Write a poem about the South African political parties. Please make it funny. How would you make the AI smarter? That's a great question, Jay. So while we submit this, we can have a chat about that. So while that's going, the question from TikTok was, how do we make the AI smarter? So in a previous live of ours, someone spoke about RAG. So this is, we can ask Mzansi AI about it also. So there's this thing called RAG, and RAG is basically, before the AI answers your question, what the AI would do is extract information on the back of data that you give it. Like if it's specific to your company, for example, then you would feed it in that information, then it would have more knowledge about you and your company. So once we get the new MIH server up and running, we definitely, on our roadmap, we're going to have to look at how we can implement RAG on our side. But yeah, so here's the more creative part, not really fact-based knowledge, those kind of things. Maybe this can be a little bit better. So let's run this and let me know what you think.
The ANC, a purple hue, said, "We've been here a while, it's true. Our policies? A little vague, but mostly we just keep the stage." The DA in blue so bright declared, "We'll fix things day and night. Efficiency's our chosen plea. Those spreadsheets sometimes set us free." The EFF, a fiery red, shouted, "Changes in our head. Taxpayers, listen, pay your dues, or face a revolutionary fuse." The Action SA, crisp and neat, said, "Let's try a different treat. Less chaos, more common sense. A political defense." The FF Plus, a quirky site, demanded things with all their might. Biltong, farms, and heritage too. It's what we're fighting for, it's true. So many voices, loud and bold. A South African story to be told. A tangled web of politics and dreams. Navigating South Africa's schemes.
So I think on the creative part, it is kind of okay. So sorry, I see there's another response from Jay. So yes, because it would be nice if it pull up to date information, sorry. Yeah, it would definitely be nice to pull up to date information. We'll have to see how, there's probably ways to do that. There's probably ways that we just not so experienced that we don't know what it is, but there's ways of doing that. So we'll definitely figure that out. But on the creative writing side, I see it did make a mistake with the ANC has a purple hue. I'm not sure what that means because they basically more yellow. But everything else seemed to be fine. I can see they're missing the MK party, and that is because the date comes from 2020 something, 2021. So the MK party wasn't a thing back then. So what else could we ask it? I think this is good. I think it's good for now. But what I like about it, right, which is the main thing that we wanted to improve, was the intelligence. It's getting there. It's not currently there at the moment, but the speed also. So if you look how fast we can ask it, I don't know what else to ask it. Generate. Okay, I like this kind of question. So, please explain the difference between communism and capitalism. And I think I was watching a debate about this kind of question. Look at the speed at which this is going. That's what I'm saying. That's what I like about this new one. We've increased the intelligence slightly, but we've also increased the speed substantially. So it is quite hectic. Please explain. Okay. So you saw how quickly it generated this response. It's probably true. And yes, this is what I wanted to say. So I was watching a video about a debate where AIs were debating between which is better, communism or capitalism. And you could see that some of the AI models, because of where they were created, it has that bias built inside it. I don't think the developers put it there on purpose, but it's just there already. I've reached the limit. Hectic. Let's see. 5 minutes daily use. That's what it is. Okay, it's fine. We'll leave this. This AI could also help less fortunate kids with learning. That's definitely one of my visions. Let me flip the camera for everyone. So that's definitely one of my visions for the future of MIH, right? So I made it free to use on purpose because I want everyone out there to access it and to, thank you so much, join the fan club, guys. So yeah, I made MIH free to use because I want it accessible to everyone. You don't have to be a rich person in order to access the benefits of MIH. It's just, yeah, anyone is able to use it. So one day, maybe I can work with the different schools to bring MIH to them and have them use the Mzansi AI, make the Mzansi AI the first or, yeah, their first experience with AI. And because AI is a crazy thing, it's completely different to like a Google search or something. So maybe get their first experience, teach them how to use it, because I think in the future, how we're going to learn is different. Because if you learn with, if you learn, or if you just, or currently how I see normal learning is like parrot fashion learning, where I open a textbook the night before, the week before an exam. I absorb all that information into my brain, and then once it's in my brain, I just spill it out onto the page the next day. That's currently how I see our education system, both in primary, high school, and varsity, right? So I think how things are going to change in the future is they're going to switch to more practical stuff. So instead of asking you the theory about X, whatever you want to ask about, they're going to tell you create X and use AI to assist you in creating this. So they're going to test you on your ability of using AI and can you work with it, because I heard someone say that AI is not going to replace you. It's people that have mastered AI is going to replace you in your job. So it's not just AI is going to replace you. But we'll see in the future, because agents are coming, robots are coming. It might change, but for now, that's how I see it. I see it that AI is an important skill, so we have to have it. I see there was a question on TikTok. I'll have a look at that now. So that is how to create my own AI. Okay, so I will share my screen for you. That's a very good question. We covered it in a couple lives ago, but I'll run it quickly for you. So I'll flip my screen over here. We have 10 minutes left, but if we go over, that's fine. And then I'll do the same thing for the people over on YouTube and TikTok or YouTube, Twitch, and Thingy and Kick. So what you want to do is go to Olama, right? So George, this is a question from George, one of the members of Mzansi from TikTok. So the technology that we're using is called Olama, right? So you can see Olama is basically an open source repository of large language models. So if we go, let's make this bigger. If we go to models, I'll come back. So you can see here, on this website itself, under their search, they have multiple different models that we can use. So you can see there's Gemma 3. This is the one that's currently sitting inside the Mzansi AI. We have Quinn 3. This is one created. So Gemma 3 is created by Google. Quinn 3 is created by Alibaba in China. DeepSeek is created by like a startup company in China. Then we have Llama 4, which is Meta's most recently announced model, but they only have the large one out there now. So you can see it's like a 67 gig. And in order for me to have a graphics card or to have in order for me to use this large 67 gig model, I'll have to have a computer or a cluster of computers that have the graphics memory of 67 gigs, which is that's for the big dogs. That's not for us yet. So what you would do is you would come here. So this is the technology we use, right? Another technology that we use is, and it'll make it very easy for you to create your own AI at home, is Docker. Right, so let's go to the hub. So when you come to Docker Hub, it's just a easy way for people to share not really their code, but an image to their code that you can easily generate. An example of this is if I go to Olama. on their website, you'll see there's an official Ollama Docker file or Docker image. And this basically, what you can do is just download, or you can, I'll show you, yeah, there's the command over here. Once you have Docker running on your machine, whether it's Windows, Linux, or Mac OS, once you have it running, you can just run this command. It'll create a container with an AI server inside it. Thereafter, you can use your AI server. You'll see there's more commands over here for you. Right, so there's if we scroll up, here's it over here. You'll just be able to copy this, paste it in your terminal if you have the technology available. And then in order to download a large language model, let's go back to Gemini. So you can see, depending on how much RAM you have, right? So RAM is very important because what the LLM does, or what Ollama does, is it puts the whole large language model into RAM. And then anything left over, it will spill over, but it puts everything into RAM. So if you only have a 4 gigabyte laptop and you're running a 4 billion parameter model, now there's only 0.7 gigs left to run the rest of your operating system. And sometimes it doesn't work. If there's not enough memory, I think that this pushes it into your normal storage. But that's how you would create your own AI, right? So you would use the Docker technology. You would look for the Ollama image. You would follow the instructions of, firstly, how to install Docker. Right? Once you have Docker installed, then you can run this command over here in your terminal or wherever you are comfortable with. And then use this command here at the top. Ollama run inside your container. There's lots of videos out there explaining this. But if you want a more detailed video from me, let me know, leave a comment about it, then I can hook it up. I'll put it on my YouTube channel because I don't think TikTok really likes long format content. So I'll put that over onto YouTube for us. So another question over here, will the new AI version save your chats so that you can refer to it for future reference? Very good question. It is on our backlog, on our book of work of things to do, to have a chat history over there. It's something that can easily be done, I think, on my side, and we can get it done for you. So we didn't add it in already because when we added Mzansi AI into into MIH, it was a proof of concept to see if we can, firstly, our server handle an AI, and can we integrate that AI server to MIH. So that's what our proof of concept was in the beginning, and I think we've achieved that. So now we're working on the performance of the AI. Post the performance, post this update, then we can look at the chat history. But thank you so much, Jay. There was many other people that suggested that also. So we'll work on that for us. George, I hope that answered your question if you're still here. So yeah, let's go back to this thing. So I'll show you which one. I think it was IBM. If I search for them, IBM. I don't know. Oh, there's it over here. Graphite 3 or 3.2. This is the one that I was looking at, and I asked the same Graphite 3 or 3.2. I'm not sure which one it was, but I asked it the question about the capitals of South Africa, and it gave me the wrong answer. So I wasn't too happy with that, and it was, I think I even used I used an 8 billion parameter model. Gemini has a 4 billion parameter model, and the intelligence is not the same, so I opted out of that one. Let's flip the cameras. So is there any other questions about AI or any suggestions or about MIH or any questions about MIH or new features, or let me know, Mzansi. So we'll just, while you're thinking of some questions, we'll cover what we went through today. We did a recap of the UI feedback from Gemini that we did last week Friday in our live. Then we had a look at the second half of Gemini's feedback, which was around the UX, so that's user experience. So the difference between UI and UX. UI is user interface. So that's like the buttons, the columns, all those different things that you see on the screen. The user experience is more about how the user is feeling when he navigates or he or she navigates through the application. So we're looking at the feedback around the UX. It was a little bit difficult for Gemini, sorry. It was a little bit difficult for Gemini to review our user experience because I just sent it a screenshot, so it's hard to show the whole user experience of an application just with a screenshot. But it did come back with good information. The information was the information flow of MIH. So basically, when someone first opens up MIH, is the key functionalities that they want to see or review at the top of the screen. So in my mind, one of the key features or packages inside MIH is the Mzansi wallet, right? So that's why I have the Mzansi wallet at the top right hand of the columns, right? So that's the one that I specifically put it at the top of it because I knew I would use it a lot, and now it looks like everyone else is using it a lot also. And let me know, what other tiles do you think should I put to the top? Should I put the Mzansi AI up higher? Should I put things lower down on the list? Like, is the patient profile too high up? Because that's also another key component or key package that we offer in MIH. So let me know if you think that we should, or the order of things, how that should be arranged. But that was the one feedback, is the stuff that the users want to click on easily or right at the top of the screen, easily visible. So that we'll work on that when we're working on the new design. And the second one that we looked at was, are the icons easily accessible? All right, that's a very subjective but also tricky one to look at, because when we look at the Mzansi AI, or not Mzansi, when we look at MIH, like, how do I portray access to someone? How do I portray a patient profile to someone, right? So that's something that I was just using the standard icons previously because I didn't have the skills of creating my own icon pack. But a couple weeks ago, we managed to create our own icon pack, our MIH icon pack. And now that we've unlocked that ability, we can... Thank you so much, Jay, for the gifts. So once we unlock that ability inside... now that we've unlocked the icons inside MIH, we now can create our own icon pack. And so we can play around, create whatever I want or whatever we want and whatever will look best to us. So if you have any suggestions around what icon pack should be, or what our icons should be, like specifically for the Mzansi wallet, what it should look like, for this, what it should look like, send it through to us. We can discuss it. We can work together to bring it inside MIH. So I see that is 8 o'clock now. Also, let me flip my screen one more time for the people that just joined now while we sign off. I'll flip this. So if you have a look at the top of the screen, I'll start it again from the beginning. You'll see that we are doing maintenance on Thursday, the 15th of May. So it's this Thursday at 10 p.m. We're migrating everything over to the new MIH server, the one that we were looking at over here, testing out the performance and the AI and stuff. So we're going to be doing that on Thursday. So please don't go to the shops at midnight. Don't try and use the Mzansi wallet at midnight. We'll probably still be working on it. So thank you so much, everyone. And let's keep working hard, Mzansi.